It gives me particular pleasure to welcome the meeting that Tina has organized around the problem of suicide survivors. It gives me pleasure because I had the fortune of meeting Tina at some point in life a few years ago, and I found her a wonderful person, a person who experienced a tragedy that has signed her existence very deeply, as it is signed the existence of many individuals who have lost someone due to suicide. And the problem of having someone close to you who died by suicide, it's not only a tragedy because of the physical loss or the emotional loss, is often a tragedy because you are perceived as a different person by society. And your diversity is not given by the fact that people think that you suffer too much, but is given by the fact that people may blame you for what has happened, may think that you are the carrier of some psychiatric disorder, may think that you didn't do enough to rescue that person, may think that you secluded that person, confining the person who died to a very peculiar life, deprived by satisfaction and human touch. And when you are a survivor of suicide, you clearly need help. You would need the support of as many people as possible. You would need to be understood by people. And you would need to receive the solidarity, the companionship, and overall, the understanding and the love of other people. Some survivors don't refer, even if it exists, to a service for survivors. We are used to say that probably 1/4 of all survivors by suicide, a number that is unbearably big anyway, only 1/4 of these survivors refers or are referred to existing services. The large majority of people who suffer such a tragedy rely on friends, rely on relatives, rely on patients. Some believe that they don't need anything. Some believe that they are able to manage the pain and the suffering, but some avoid services if they exist. And I hope that the founding of this Taiwanese association would be an example for the entire community of survivors, not only for Taiwan in itself, but for all the people that may have met persons like Tina and other survivors who are able to provide understanding, human touch, sharing of emotion, accepting the pain, which is a problem because many people don't want to be identified by society members, don't want to be recognized as suicide survivors. So they tend to hide themselves, not to be pinpointed by other people. Some other survivor may choose to cry in silence or to contain inside themselves the pain, because showing the pain or talking about the pain to and with other people may be seen as a moment of weakness, which is not right, but it happens. And if services are created or existing, how can I trust these services? How can I have confidence in the capacity of these services of providing the needed and desired assistance? So there is a variety of factors that are creating obstacles to the remaining existence of survivors. And the peculiarity of this sort of pain, this sort of suffering, is often the stigma, is often the feeling of shame, is often the awareness that people may avoid to contact you, may avoid to meet you, may cross the road in a different direction just to avoid meeting you. And these are all very painful circumstances, because what you need in those moments, in those circumstances, when life has been so severe, so difficult with you, is not to feel alone. So the most important message is finding a place where people understand the importance of being together with other people, able to share pain, suffering, but able also to contain emotion and to provide a listening ear. We don't need to have just anatomical ears. We need to have ears able to listen. And this is a very important message. We need to be together. We don't have to remain alone. We need to be with people that understand our pain. So being amongst survivors, a group of survivors, is always important, because you are speaking the same language, you understand the language of bereavement, and you know what it means. And this is really an essential feature of being together. When you mourn because of suicide, you don't need the big professor. You need a person who is able to understand that peculiar language that is the language of someone who has suffered a loss. And if the loss has been due to suicide, this is even a very peculiar type of loss, which needs even more understanding, even more acceptance. My message for you all is to be together as much as you can, to understand each other as much as you can, and to be together for much of your time, if not for most of the time. Bravo, Tina, and good luck to everyone. I'll be available for you whenever you wanted, if you wanted me. Good luck.